Hi everyone, Sailor Mars here, Sailor Red World here, and today we're going to talk about why do folks hate the pioneer Sailor Moon. Now, we already talked about the hate, why folks hate the Deke one, and why making a guess if they would hate the Renaissance Atlantic Entertainment or New Birth Great Sea Glee one. Now we're talking about the Pioneer one or the Pathseeker one. Now, unlike the Deke one, the some things that the Pioneer one kept was the borrowed names, which we all know the folks who hate the Deke one hated Pioneer Pathseeker for, keeping, the Latinist, Frenchist, Spanish, Hebrewist, Farsiest, and even sometimes Hellenish and Nebes and Lacklandish names. And so that they make a big deal about that still. The other things that they would still make a big deal about is some of the cleaning that was done. Not as much in the Deke one, but there was some cleaning. Like driving on the left side of the street instead of the right, which a lot of folks in North Vinland do. In the 4-1 Reichs in the settled land, and he's in a Mexicanish land. So they made a big deal about that being the shift. So they hated that. And they also felt that Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, Sailor Skyworld and Sailor SeaWorld, Amar and Michelle, were called nearkin. They felt that was uncalled for, and it didn't match up with what the kinship was. Now, we already talked about why that was done, or some folks have a belief of why it was done, and also being irked that, Fish Eye or Fish's Eye, however you want to say that name, had become a woman. Now, even though the Pioneer one or the Pathseeker one did not have as many shifts or cleans or skimmed as much as the Deke one, they still hated it for those grounds and still made a big deal out of it. Now here's something else that they hate, which you would think they would not, that it was in English. Believe it or not, there are some folks in the Sailor Moon followership who are angry or irked that it's in English. It's almost if it being put into their speech is somehow a bad thing, and feel that the show playing was still not good. And then strike names being shifted, back to whatever Toei or Viz was calling them. They were irked over that one and angered over that one. What near names were shifted back to their former Dawnish kin name, Dawnish borrowed names for those, back to the names they were, but that wasn't good enough for them. There was no Sailor Says, because by that time the oversight, which some folkworks, which a lot of folkworks fell underneath, was no longer needed. But you really think that it being more near to the Toei one would have been enough to keep them happy? And no, it was not. So at the end of the day, yes, the Pioneer one, Pioneer Glee, or Pathseeker Glee, whatever, that one still gets hate from folks in the Sailor Moon followership to this day for the same grounds. You know, irked over names being shifted, angered over, the unstraight, being shifted or whatever. Now, at the end of the day, or strike names being shifted again, because that was going on too. But at the end of the day, yeah, that one got hate too, for the same ground's sake or why, who knows. And a lot of them like to say, oh, it was Cloverway. Well, the truth was Cloverway only handled Cloverway. Oh, well, the truth is, if you ever watch the end thanks to the free diff and 4 followings of Sailor Moon, it's going to say Pioneer Glee USA. So yeah, they were the ones that got the rights for the free diff and 4 diff following, and at the end, and the free films as well. So at the end of the day, yeah, a lot of folks in the Sailor Moon followership are still be irked or angered over that one, and would hate that one for the same ground's sake or why. Well, okay, that's all the time we got. If you like this film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to give us a like, share, and playlist this film. Watch the other film we made yesterday over here. And if you are new here, hit that ring and bind to let you know when the next upload, live stream, or short's been done. I, Sailor Mars, Sailor Red World Ray, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.